A new Resident Evil 9 trailer dropped and I am absolutely blown away. This trailer does a perfect job of showing a lot but not giving us a lot. Just more questions than answers, and I think that's how you do a trailer. If you don't know me, my name is John Ford and I explore every Resident Evil 9 theory and try to make them stronger, whether I agree or disagree. Let's get right into the video. The first theory I want to talk about is actually at the very end where we see this man's face. What's interesting about this scene is the goggles on this man's face. So what about these goggles are so specific? There's an argument to be made that these are night vision goggles, a variation of what Chris's squad used in Resident Evil 8. What makes this a little bit stronger is that it kinda is the theme so far with the enemies in Resident Evil 9. The hooded figure waited till all the lights were out in the hotel before attacking Alyssa. The creature that was chasing Grace in the Resident Evil 9 demo weakness is light itself. And finally, in the Resident Evil 9 reveal trailer, the person sitting down was sitting in darkness. The only light in the room is from fire, which makes sense because the monster chasing Grace is not affected by the flame that's coming out of Grace's lighter. So it seems for them to operate effectively, they have to be in darkness, which explains the night vision goggles that's on this person's face. Next up, let's talk about the new version of zombies. Recently, Capcom developers have confirmed that yes, zombies are coming in the game. However, these are the next version of zombies. This was their words. In this trailer alone, you can see a few infected people, but they act a bit odd. They don't act like normal zombies. In this trailer, there's a moment where an infected is bashing their head against a mirror pretty violently. There's also another moment where we can see an infected woman kind of walking in this strange kind of movement. These are movements we never really saw zombies make in the past. They seem more exaggerated in their movements. Are these the next version of zombies that Capcom was talking about? Speaking of zombies, let's go ahead and talk about the cop or security guard that we saw in the very beginning. This security guard or cop seems to be the same one that we saw in the reveal trailer. First off, in the reveal trailer, we know that this zombie just recently turned because of its perfect fucking teeth. The outfit matches because the cop is also wearing the hat and the zombie that's turning also has the hat on. The jacket matches as well. Also, if you look closely, the zombie in the reveal trailer outfit is actually damp and the officer in this most recent trailer is standing in fucking rain. So what I think is happening here is that whatever Grace is going through inside of the hotel, the officer or guard comes in to try to help and investigates what's going on, and in that process he straight up gets infected and we see him turn. This also leads into my next theory that I want to talk about is the hotel is playable. Not playable in the sense we just walk in and explore a little bit. I think there's a whole gameplay section that takes place inside of the hotel after Alyssa dies. So I think when Grace goes in here, she investigates, she finds the notes that Alyssa left behind, and on her way out she sees that this person is waiting for her there. He basically tells her that she is the target and tries to capture her, which begins her survival inside of the hotel. Later, this same person kidnaps her and brings her to the Rose Hill Care Center where he begins extracting her blood. We know that he takes her here or is present because at the start of the demo that's been shown off so much, Grace opens up with the lines, "What did he do to me as soon as you get free?" Next is straight up confirmation that Grace is extremely special. In this new trailer, we get more dialogue from the person sitting down in the dark, where he says this:
"You're not like other people, you know. You're quite unique."
Now this isn't the first time we got confirmation that Grace is very special. In the reveal trailer, he straight up says that she is a special one and chosen one.
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. Special one. The chosen one.
There's also in Gamescom where Jeff Keighley said this about Grace, calling her the key.
Story of the game's protagonist, Grace Ashcroft, and why she may be the key to surviving what's coming.
And finally, in the Gamescom demo, we can see that they were straight up extracting her blood. She's upside down, you can see these tubes draining her blood, and there's a file that's on the desk, and if you read the file, there is a timeline of them writing down Grace's status as they observe her while her blood is being extracted. Could this mean that the daylight vaccine that she inherited from her mother changed forms and mutated? If you've been watching my channel, you've heard me say this before, but I think what makes Grace special is her blood, specifically because of what she gained from her mother, that the second version of Daylight somehow makes her unique. which could possibly mean that Grace joins the special group of characters who have gained something from viruses. For example, Sherry Birkin being infected with the G virus has given her extremely fast healing. There's also her daughter Rose that was born of 2 mold infected parents that gives her very special powers as well. There is also fucking Jill Valentine, where she was infected with the T virus, and Death Island being a very lazy movie that refused to change her appearance because of Resident Evil 3 Remake gave her the ability of aging fucking backwards. Great. Bothers me a lot because you can actually find concept art of an older version of Jill Valentine, but you know, Capcom gotta be Capcom every once in a while when it comes to altering the appearances of characters just taking L's. But I digress. What could this new version of Daylight within Grace's blood actually mean? In my opinion, it's her being immune to everything, but we'll talk about that in a future theory video. Next, let's go ahead and talk about Alyssa. Alyssa in this new trailer had put evidence or notes, whatever, behind a picture in the hotel, leaving it behind so her enemies can't get her information. The developers have said before that Alyssa is the connection to Raccoon City, so whatever is in these files that Grace uncovers and most likely read through before getting taken, evidence points to Raccoon City. And it kind of makes sense because in lore, Alyssa, when she escaped Raccoon City, came out with an article called What is a BOW? Blowing the lid off this top secret project, which was a huge crucial role when it came to taking down Umbrella. So what's in these files brings us to Raccoon City as Grace finishes Alyssa's investigation. And last but certainly not least, what I think is the best shot in this trailer, the Umbrella logo. The logo making an appearance in this game is huge as it opens up so many questions, which makes me question one of 2 things. Where is this logo located? Again, I went back and I didn't actually see it anywhere, which leads me to believe that there is a whole other nest facility, a whole other Umbrella laboratory somewhere in Raccoon City that we didn't actually see, that there is more technology, more labs, more history yet to be uncovered. Maybe this facility is so far underground that it wasn't affected by any nukes or explosions. I think Alyssa must have located or gathered information about this secret area that has yet to be uncovered, which this group couldn't allow to get out into the public because this is where their base of operations is. But also this brings up one huge question: is Umbrella as they were back? Honestly, the fanboy inside of me just wants to scream yes, that Spencer is back just doing his old man I wanna be a god bullshit again, but I have to honestly say no, and that's because there's a file in Resident Evil 7 talking about Blue Umbrella, the group that we played with in Resident Evil 7, and that says that the group was formed by former Umbrella employees. The Umbrella employees that survived formed this group as they want to turn a new leaf and fight against bioweapons, and they were first created in 2007, 1 year after the events of Resident Evil 5. This isn't a new group that popped out of nowhere. This group has been well established within Resident Evil. Later on, probably my next video, I'm going to be exploring the Spencer theory for the very first time. I have to get some facts about it, see what the community is saying, and add my spin to it, and try to prove it, and try to make the theory stronger. So I want to pass the question off to you. Is Umbrella back? Is Spencer doing his old bullshit again? Or is this a new group that's using leftover Umbrella technology that exists within a nest that we didn't get to see in the original Raccoon City games? That's my initial thoughts on this trailer. Once again, this trailer was incredible. It gave us more questions than answers, and that's what trailers should do. Less answers, more questions, more mystery, more speculation. Again, my name is John Ford. I cover every single theory that's coming out for Resident Evil 9, and I'm going to agree or disagree with it in the video after I give you my evidence. But with that being said, thank you all so much for fucking watching. I fucking love this trailer, and I fucking love you. I'm gonna be out here. Thank you guys and girls for listening, and make sure to subscribe for more Resident Evil content. Deuces.